Hey friends, and welcome back to another episode of the $5 Thrift Challenge, where I took a single $5 bill, took to the thrift store, bought one item, sold that item, and then I used the profit from that to buy more items. And I've been doing this over and over again until we've gotten to the point now where we have over $1,300 of profit from that single $5 investment. We're well on our way to our $10,000 goal, and we have been across the whole country. It feels like we've been in Indiana, we've been in Ohio, we've been in Michigan for this challenge. And so it's been really fun, and a lot of you guys have been enjoying this series. But today we are heading into Christmas week. So when you're watching this, it's going live on Christmas. Merry Christmas to you if you celebrate. But we are on episode 12. So now I have a few things that have sold since the last week's episode. At the end of last week, we had $1,385.09 in our challenge bank. I've sold a few things since then. It's only been 2 days my time before you see this because I need to get ready to celebrate Christmas too. But I did sell 2 items in those 2 days. So let's talk about the things that sold. The first thing that sold was the Anthropologie off-the-shoulder cable knit sweater. This was a cute pink sweater that I picked up at my local Goodwill back in Indiana for I think $4.99 is what it was marked at. I sold it for $35 on Poshmark. We make $28 heading into our challenge bank, bringing us to $1,413.09. And then the next thing I sold was the Eileen Fisher black velvet and silk duster. When I found this piece, I knew it was a really good pickup, and I listed it a little bit high, but I did receive an offer on eBay for $50. It was a beautiful piece, and I was able to find a stock photo of it. And the stock photo, I feel like, really helped explain what it should look like on. So that was great. When we sold it for $50, we made $45.39 after shipping, after all the fees, all of that jazz, bringing our total today to $1,458.48. That is exciting. We've got about $1,500 in the challenge bank. And again, I will remind you, this started with me just spending $5. That's all it took. And now we have $1,500 and so many pieces. It's not even funny. I have around 50 items listed currently, and I probably have at least 50 items that are waiting to be listed that I am still in the process of cleaning and or working on drafting and picturing and all of that. It's been a crazy season. You guys know we just moved into our house here in Michigan, and so it's been a little bit of a time, and so I'm trying to get back into getting everything listed before the videos go live, and that will hopefully be happening very soon. But today, instead of overwhelming myself with getting tons of items, I really want to focus on getting some really high quality pieces that should resell for over $50. That's the goal today. I'm hoping to get maybe 5 to 10 really high quality pieces that should flip for around $100. So if I get 10 items today that are worth $100 each, that would be $1,000 that we'd be putting into our challenge bank. So that's kind of the goal for today. We're going to look for high quality, high price items. I'm going to be very selective because I have a lot of quantity right now, and now I need a few more quality pieces. I think I'm going to go check out maybe a new thrift store in the Royal Oak, Michigan area. And then I also might head to the bins if I have time today and try to hit up one of their flips as they put out new merchandise. So that's the plan. Obviously, you guys are my sidekicks. We're going to go out there together. We're going to get on those thrifty streets together today. I think this will be fun. Let's head to the thrift store. If you guys are excited for episode 12 and excited to come thrifting with me today, then drop the Christmas tree emoji in the comments and let's head to the thrift store together. Okay, I made it to the bins. I decided to head here first, and now that I'm here, I'm kind of like, oh, maybe they don't do flips one day a week, and maybe I came on the wrong day. We'll see when I get in there if they are doing any flips today, because I kind of came here specifically to make it here for the clothing flip. But I wanted to talk to you guys about my jacket too that I'm wearing today. This is not sponsored in any way, but this is from the North Face. And so over the weekend, I did take those pieces that I picked up the last 2 weeks from the Salvation Army outlet to the North Face store to do the North Face Renewed program. I mentioned it to you guys. And they didn't take the 2 coats that had the rips in them, but I had you sew them. And now I think I can trade in the gray one and get a good amount of money. The black one looks honestly perfect, so I think I'm going to list it myself because I think it should be able to resell for like maybe $75 to $100. So that's amazing. But I took in that little girl's piece I found 2 episodes ago. And then from last episode, I took in that hat and the t-shirt. And then I had a hat that Jeremy had in his closet that he hasn't worn that I thrifted a few years ago. I took that in. I got $10 for for the hat, $10 for the t-shirt. They gave me $35 for the little girl's jacket, and then I got $10 for the hat that wasn't part of this challenge at all. So I got $65 of in-store credit, and then I added that in. I already had like $200 of credit from doing this over and over again with different jackets and things I find in the bins, traded it all in, and I didn't pay a cent out of pocket for this $250 parka coat. Pretty good, I would say, pretty good. So I feel good about that. So even if they're not doing any flips today, I'm going to go look through the bins and see if I can find any North Face items that I can trade in, because I would like to also get Jeremy maybe a new pair of gloves, maybe a coat, and we'll look for pieces that I can resell for good money as well. So let's head in. We'll see what we can find, and hopefully they're doing flips today. Let's see. Hopefully. Absolutely empty, but tons and tons of pieces. So we'll see what we can find. So I was right. I totally forgot that there are no flips, and it was on Mondays, and that is, of course, the day that I'm here, which is not a huge deal. I think I still will be able to find some good things. Honestly, it'll be probably a little bit less chaotic and stressful than it normally would be, and so I'm still gonna look through here and try to find a few items. Honestly, there's a few Birkenstocks right away. These ones have some wear to the bottoms of the back, so I'm going to leave those. But if these bottoms are in great shape, then they're probably worth trying to clean up. Do I want to deal with a project, though? I don't, but these are cute. These little Ralph Lauren shoes are nice. I'll put them in the cart and at least think about them. As we talked about last week, everything here is $1.59 per pound, $3.29 per pair of shoes. They're cool Nikes. So even though I'm here on a day where nobody else is here, they're all like, there's nothing left, there's nothing good. Like, here's a pair of Sorel little sandals. They're super cute. I feel like they could use a little bit of cleaning up, but I mean, for $3, heck yeah. I'm gonna put those in my cart, and maybe I'm gonna look through the shoes first, and then I'll go to the clothing areas too. Especially, I'm gonna focus on like the throwback area where people will throw back things while they're in line and see what people got rid of at the last second. Because so far, I mean, it's been pretty good, and I've just walked in the door. Again, I'm just looking through this bin, but, okay, a pair of UGG Tasman slippers in a size 10. My size, like I'm a 9, I could wear a 10, but for $3, it does have a lot of the fur on the inside, like, is rubbed off, but, like, these are $100 UGG shoes that have been on my list for myself for a long time. And so that's a win. Wow, I picked the worst car in the world. I might go switch it out. Well, I just saw this poking out over here, P448. That's great. If I can find the other one, then we'll be in business. And this is the thing. Most of the shoes here are actually like wrapped together, which is so nice. So if I find one, I am likely to find the other one nearby. Somebody looked at them probably. We'll see if I can find it. Oh my gosh, another UGG slipper. We'll see if I can find the other one for that one too. And just like that, just a little digging, and I found it. It's the other P448. Again, I could use some cleaning, but these can sell for like $50 plus, so I'm gonna put those in the cart. And I still haven't really, well, I didn't really look for this one. There it is. Shut up. They have a little bit of wear to them, but I still think they're probably worth grabbing for $3. They have a little bit of wear to the insides, but still look pretty good. Put those in the cart at least and think about them. So these are interesting, and they felt nice, so I decided to look them up. Never heard of it. It's called Vessi, V-E-S-S-I, but they look to be in good shape. They just have some dirt to them. I do think they probably are washable as well, though. Comments look like a lot of them are retailing, or at least reselling on eBay, around $50 to $85, so that's pretty good. So I've decided that I don't really understand what the people here are really looking for. Found a pair of On Clouds. Honestly, pretty good shape, just a little bit of dirt. But then I also just pulled these out, which, if you see those blue bottoms, you know that that's a teak, which I feel really good about that. I'll pull them apart and see, make sure that they're in good shape, but those are an excellent, excellent find. So briefly looking through the accessories and bags and things like that. There's this Burton backpack. It does have some tearing and wear to it, so I'm not going to grab it, but still some great things. Like if you're looking for yourself, really could find some goodies. Even, again, there's 2 inclines right there. Here's a Timberland belt. pretty cool. Feels really nice. My cart is pretty full, feeling pretty good. I really didn't find anything in the clothing section. Like I did find a few cute little kid pieces though. So I do think it might be a good idea to start making a pile of things to take to like a Once Upon a Child situation as well. Because I have quite a few of these like pretty adorable children's clothes pieces. Like we have a Hannah Anderson, this one's Zara, and I am obsessed with this little Peter Rabbit. That is so cute. But I had the shoes. I found only like 2 pieces of clothing. And so I'm going to look up these pants and then I'll go from there. So I grabbed these because they felt nice. They feel like a ski kind of pant. And honestly, at first I thought, oh, what if these are going to be like Perfect Moment or something like that? I loved the little embroidery on them. They're kind of a flared pair of pants. And I had never heard of this brand, but I looked it up. It's from the brand Postcard. But I saw that it had the Italian sizing on here as well as like all these other sizes. And so that gave me a clue that this was going to be a really nice brand. And a lot of them are listed for over $100. So that's great. And it looks like these could do really well. So I'm happy that I grabbed those. They're really nice feeling and they have a zipper on the bottom there. So that's a yes. And then I really do feel good about a lot of the shoes that I grabbed. So I'm going to go through and make sure that the ones I grabbed look good and are worth grabbing. So feeling pretty good. I'm about to sort my cart, see what I can pick up. I think I'm going to probably, the most of what I'm going to spend today is probably going to be coming from shoes. So it just depends on how many pairs I get, but I feel like maybe under $50 today, which is great. But I'll show you guys everything I got when we get home. Okay, friends, we made it back home, but before we jump into the haul of what I picked up at the bins today, which actually went really well, I have a few more things that sold while I've been out, so instead of waiting till the next episode, I think I'm just gonna share them with you now because it's actually some very exciting pieces. So before we went thrifting, we had $1,458.48 in the challenge bank, but then I sold the pair of Clark's leather silver heels, those pumps that I got at the bargain box in Hicksville, Ohio, for $20. They sold for $20 and we made $15.60. That sold on eBay, bringing our challenge bank to $1,474.08. Then a really exciting sale. This was actually an international sale on eBay. This was the White by Vera Wang dress that I picked up not too long ago in Warsaw, Indiana. I sold that for $114.99 on eBay, and we made $95.78 after all the fees and shipping and all of that jazz. So our challenge bank is over $1,500 now. Okay, that's not it though. Then I sold the Eileen Fisher, the classic collar, that velvet shirt that I had found, and it had some schmutz on it. I did wash it, everything came out of it. I dried it, pictured it, and then within like the first day or two, it sold for $60 on Poshmark, giving us $48 heading into the challenge bank. And then the last thing that sold is something I picked up in last week's episode, which was the Bowden linen dress for $35, $28 heading into the challenge bank. So we have $1,645.86 in the challenge bank, but I spent $30.05 today at the bins. And so we are up to over $1,600 in the challenge bank, which is the most we've had in this entire series that I started with $5. So that's exciting. But now let's go into what I picked up today. Okay, now let's jump into the haul because yes, you guys know my camera I finally used the last of my battery to film that clip. And now I'm gonna show you guys what I have here that I picked up in the bins. You guys saw I picked up so many good things, and I spent around $30 at the Salvation Army outlet. I really only picked up a few pieces of clothing. I found 4 pounds of clothes. Actually, the scale said 3 pounds until the guy checked it, and then it said 4 pounds. So I feel like I paid an extra pound for nothing. I'm just too cheap for my own good, you know? But I ended up finding a lot of good shoes. That's really the majority of what I found. I found 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pairs of shoes. And so in total, I only have 9 things that I have to list from today's haul. So I really had restraint. I think it helped too that there weren't a lot of people. I could just kind of take my time. So let's start with the first. I think this might've been the first pair of shoes that I found, these P448 shoes. I really enjoy selling P448s. Depending on what the style is, they can sell for good money. These ones do have some kind of like more like wear to them, some discoloration, but I do still think I can sell them for probably at least a few bucks. I might need to also clean them and do all these things to them. So if I was being more selective, which I should have been, I probably should have left these behind, but I also want to share this brand with you. So even if this is just a pickup to show you guys and then redonate or give it to somebody I know, that could be worth it as well. But these are from P448, which is a very expensive brand. And I've only found them a few times and usually in the bins actually, because they do look kind of worn usually even just straight from the retailer. These are European size 38. So I did grab those for $3 and what, 29 cents? I think that's what the cost is per shoe. And then I found these really cute little Uggs. Uggs are having such a moment. Everybody wants a pair of Ugg Tasmans or Ugg Tazes, the platform ones, the other kinds. They like the micro mini boots. They have a lot that are really popular right now. I thought that these were interesting. They're a black suede and they have kind of like a little bit of a heel up here. Like it comes up a little bit on the back, has a little bit more of fabric going here too. So I don't know what the style of this is called. If you guys know, totally let me know. But they look to be in really good condition and they are a good size. These are, I believe, yeah, a size 10. So a women's size 10. I did try these on. I don't need them, but I am gonna sell them. I do think that I can probably get at least 30 bucks for those. And so for $3.29, thought that was worth it as well. Now I wanna show you guys these because I did find a pair of Ugg Tasman slippers. I did promise my sister that the next time I found a pair of these in her size, I would give them to her. So I subtracted the $3.29. I did pay for these all at the same time. So I just subtracted it from our cost of goods. And I'm really excited that she's gonna get to see these and get these. I get to see her in a few days. I'm so excited. She lives in Hong Kong. So I am just pumped to spend some Christmas time with my sister and she's gonna be so excited for those. And then I found these teaks in the outlet after everyone had gone through the bins for like a whole couple of days. I don't understand. Like, how are they still there? Like, I'll take it though. They have the teak's little bluish green bottoms to them. Really a classic teak look. I believe that these are just black. They look black. They're a size 9. Also, why does everything have to be my size? When you have a size 9 foot, I feel like a lot of shoes I find I could wear. I definitely am gonna sell them, but am I tempted? Of course I am. But a pair of black teaks, the last time I had a pair of teaks, I think I sold them for over 50 bucks. So again, like just these will be more than what I paid for the entire haul. I only paid like 30 bucks today, which is awesome. And honestly, they're in really good shape. I have sold teaks in much worse shape than this for like still 20 something dollars. And so they do have some like footwear from where the foot was in the leather, but I still think that those are really nice. I think 50 bucks for those probably. And then we have the pair of Sorel little sandals. These are so cute. I thought this was an adorable style for $3. Again, I was like, okay, again, how are these still there? They definitely are in pretty good shape. Like the bottoms look really nice. They do have some wear, you know, to where the foot goes. And I was thinking if I take a baby wipe and do a little bit of cleaning, I think that a lot of that will come off pretty easily. And honestly, I feel like I can still get at least $25 for these, if not more. And they're really cute. They are in a size 8, which is another great size. And for a pair of Sorels, I feel like every time I go to this bins, I find a pair of Sorels. Not mad about it. And even though they didn't do a single flip while I was there, and I feel like everyone was avoiding this place because it was Monday, I honestly kind of liked it. Like it was a lot more low-key. Nobody was mad at me. Everyone was like had distance. Nobody was going crazy. It was kind of nice actually. When I first walked in, there was like 3 of us and like the other people were all grandmas and it was just me. And I felt like I was in my grandma element. I can work with that. Then we have these shoes. I did find another pair of On Cloud running shoes. And so these ones look to be in really good shape. They still have all of the tread across the whole bottom of the shoe. So they really are really nice and there's no wear to the backs where you put your heels. Those are kind of the things I look for right away when I'm in the bins. Sometimes you'll have like holes back here and that's like a no-go for me. Or you'll have a pattern of wear right here or right here on shoes. And so this one doesn't have any of that. These are in a women's size 9. I have not sold a pair of On running shoes in a bit, so I will have to look at what comps are, but I would assume at least $25, $35 still for these. I know that they kind of had a moment where they were selling for a lot more than that, but I don't know what they're going for right now. So those though, I think will still be worth at least the $3.29 that I paid for them. And then I was kind of going back and forth on these too, if I'm honest. These Stuart Weitzman shoes are really beautiful. I love selling Stuart Weitzman. Some of the more vintage styles I don't always pick up, but I thought these were kind of like a classic, also kind of Y2K look to them. They are this black little pointed toe heel with this little embellished, bedazzled strap. And here's the Stuart Weitzman label for you. Can you see it? That's what it looks like. And then on the bottom too, it also says Stuart Weitzman. They do have some wear on the bottoms, but I still think that they're in good enough shape to sell for sure. And the heels themselves look good. On the back, you always have to check the heel because sometimes these things get destroyed and that's why they're in the bins. But that's like the hardest thing to like look at and notice is destroyed. These are in a size 8. I am very excited that I found some great size shoes because sometimes you just find like a size like 4 or something. And you're like, well, here are the little Stuart Weitzman heels. I think those will go for probably, I don't know. I saw a pair listed for $100. I think that's a little overkill. There's no way for that, but maybe 35 to 50 bucks. That's what I kind of will hope for is my guess. Also, I am wearing my Christmas sweater. It says Merry Christmas, you filthy animals. I thought I would put this on just for you. It is really warm in this room today, but this is for you guys. So appreciate the love, please. Okay. And then I didn't find a single piece of North Face gear at the bins, which is shocking to me. Very kind of upsetting actually. But I did find a few kid pieces while I was going through. And so now I have a pile of things that I will take to the North Face trade-in program. I also will start collecting, part of the challenge, a pile of kids clothes, especially if I'm going to the bins over and over. If I find really nice high quality kids clothes while I'm in the bins, I will also make a pile of that. And then eventually we'll take that to Once Upon a Child and get a payout from them. So they'll give me cash for kids clothes and then that money will go back into the challenge bank. So we're not gonna see any return on this investment right now, but eventually we'll see some cash coming back. I did find this little cute winter kind of like bunting, which I think will do really well here in Michigan. And it's really cute and there's not like any wear to it. I have to figure out what they like to take at these different value sell trade stores because I'm new to the area and it always varies store to store, but I'm gonna give it a little bit of a chance. This was really cheap per pound, like maybe $1 into that, maybe less. So I thought this would be a good time to start collecting and trying. And then I also found this really adorable little bluey dress. And I know that kids love bluey and it's really cute and ruffled. It is bluey actually for the tag and then it's a size 12 months. So I thought that was really cute too. And so I grabbed those 2 pieces to take to Once Upon a Child. So we'll start our collection now of things to take there. Maybe I'll start a bin of things to take to Plato's Closet as well. We'll have a lot of different avenues of revenue for this challenge, right? I've already listed something on Facebook Marketplace. The Detroit bag is now listed on Facebook Marketplace for local pickup. And then we have things that I've been taking to North Face. I've been having things that I take to the Once Upon a Child, and then I sell things online. It's kind of fun. I like it. It's a lot of work, but it's fun. When you don't pick up a million things, the haul doesn't take a million years. That's so nice. This was the best thing probably I found today, which is so exciting. These are this really fun, cool pair of like ski pants. They've got this little bit of a flare to the bottom. They've got a zipper on the bottom. These are like for snowboarding, for skiing. I could tell when I felt them, they felt super nice. And I think I even mentioned that I thought they might be like Perfect Moment or something like that, which would have been insane, or Montclair, that would have been insane. But these are actually from Postcard, which never have I ever heard of that brand, but I do think that these should do really well. They are black, they've got a cute little embroidered flower on the front, and they also have the international sizes. I think that this should be great. So USA size 10, Italian size 46, they're really nice. Like they feel so high quality. I do think that these will do well. And I saw some selling for like 75 to 100 bucks. So this might be another one of our higher profit items, which is what I was on the lookout for today at the bin. So I'm grateful for that for sure. So yeah, I think those are gonna be great. I'm pretty jazzed. Have you guys ever heard of this brand? Is it just me? I've never heard of that. And I did pick up 3 more kids items. I weighed these. This came out to 1 pound. So the entire, 3 other pounds that I spent were mostly on those pants, probably 2 pounds and a pound for the other 2 kid items. But these 3 things I did subtract from what I spent today because I got these and I think I'm gonna keep them for our future kiddos. I love to collect kid clothes. If you guys have been around here for a while, you guys have known I've been doing this for a while. And if you've been here since before the challenge, you know that Jeremy and I were licensed foster parents in Indiana, and we went through trying to adopt in Indiana and having some failed adoptions. And so it's been kind of a tough year for sure with everything that's happened in our lives, but I'm still maintaining hope that we will be able to have some kiddos in the future. But this is what this piece looks like. I am seriously obsessed, and this is why I am not selling it. It is this Peter Rabbit little onesie. Shut up. And then the little tag too. Can you see this? The little Peter Rabbit tag is literally sending me. That's for the little like collared shirt underneath. And then there's also a Peter Rabbit tag for the piece on the top. It's just so adorable. I cannot handle it. That is like one of my favorite kids pieces I've ever found. So adorable. And then I did also find this little Hannah Anderson dress, this little green kind of frilly dress with gold metallic pieces like stars along the hem. I thought this was so cute. And if you ever find Hannah Anderson, it is a nice kids brand and it does sell well. This is also something that they would probably take for sure out of buy sell trade. So if I change my mind or if Jeremy doesn't like it, I'll put it in the buy sell trade, the Once Upon a Child stack for us to take there. And then the last piece that I found is this really cute little sweatshirt from Zara. I love Zara kids clothes. I think they're so cute. And so I am very happy that I found this. I think I might actually own this sweatshirt already in our bins of clothes of all the different sizes, but I'm excited to have it maybe in a different size. It's a size 8, and I just thought that was so stinking adorable. Another thing to note is Zara kids clothes can resell for really good money. People are always on the hunt for them because they are so cute, and it's kind of hard to find them for a good price usually. So those are not brands I would sleep on. Like all 3 of those pieces I could probably still resell, but I did buy those for myself. I want to show you guys them, but I did take out the money so you guys don't have to worry. I'm not using the challenge money on myself. And then the last thing I picked up to resell is this pair of sneakers. And you guys saw me find these. These are from Vessi, which again, I had never heard of this brand. It reminds me of a pair of Lems. I found Lems for the first time during this challenge. Never had I ever heard of those before either. But I did find these and they felt nice. They felt kind of like, you know, when you feel something and it feels like you can wash it and it's high quality and it's soft. That's kind of how I felt about these. They're kind of like this greenish color, I would say, and they're in a men's size 10. These are called the Everyday Classic. And I'm going to maybe even throw them through the wash. I would be shocked if these are not washable. They just feel like it. I'll do a little Google search and see if they are first. If they are, I'll throw them through the wash and then they'll be right as rain and perfect and ready to sell. So yeah, those are the pieces I grabbed. I got what, 8 pairs of shoes. I've got 2 pieces I'm gonna take to Once Upon a Child, 3 pieces for myself, a pair of Tasman slippers from UGG for my sister for Christmas, as well as that pair of snowboard pants. And all of those should sell for hundreds of dollars. And I spent like 30 bucks out of pocket today. And of course that came out of the challenge bank, but we're already sitting at what, $1,600 worth of profit? Guys, we're gonna hit $2,000 probably pretty soon, especially if I can keep on listing, even though we're heading into Christmas and I am going to go visit family. I'm gonna try to get some things listed while enjoying the holiday season, but that is insane. What you can accomplish with just $5 is amazing. Like, people will think that they can't change their lives, but you can, and it doesn't take a huge investment on your part. But yeah, those are all the pieces that we found today. Filled you in on all the things that we sold, and we were well on our way to our $10,000 goal. Thank you guys so much for watching and keeping up with this series, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Merry Christmas. I'll see you guys in the new year. Bye.